Dear ladies and gentlemen, reporting live on our journey down the Nile to Egypt. We've stopped because little Miss Ivy has found a deep cave off our starboard side and wants to go spelunking. I am discouraging such a... What? No, I don't have scared. No, I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't. You know what? Okay, cable us up. Well, ladies and gentlemen, to view this video, you must cable up and go with us through the gates of Hades to explore the netherworld. But before we descend into the belly of this beast, allow me to get your minds right about our virtual journey. For you must have a peculiar set of perceptual skills to glean the most of the information being presented. Perception, quote, a way of regarding, understanding, or interpreting something, a mental impression, intuitive understanding, and insight, which can only mean you must have a perception of something before you can have intuitive understanding and insight. For this journey, you must call upon the remembrance of all the discoveries we've gleaned thus far into one thought process. Saying that, allow me to ask you two questions, gentle strangers. The first question, do you remember the video where my God told us the angelic evildoers are hiding themselves in hell? And I asked the inquisitive question of, what do you guys think they're doing down there? Well, allow me to give you a perception to not only view this particular question with, but the perception I would like for you to view the duration of this series with. To get this perception, we must go back to the beginning. What? No, not the book of Genesis. I'm talking about Job the Edomite, for it is the oldest book in our scriptures. Everybody knows the story of Job, right? In particular, how the evildoers touched his body. Well, his wife and his boys saw him in such pain, they told him to do himself a favor and kill himself by cursing my God. But Job had faith and rebuked him with a series of no-brainer rebuttals. Well, there was one very strange rhetorical question he asked, a question that was supposed to be a no-brainer for his boy to understand. Let's take a look at it and see if it sheds the beginning light on my theory. The beginning light on my theory. The beginning light on my theory. Turn in your Septuagints to Job 26 and 5, please. Remember, this is the last of a series of no-brainer rhetorical questions Job is asking his boy for telling him to curse my God. You know what? For context sake, I'm going to back up one verse to give you a true flavor of the no-brainerness of the situation. Verse 4 and 5, quote, to whom hast thou uttered words, and whose breath is it that comes forth from thee? Shall giants be born from under the water, and the inhabitants thereof? Example. What? Let me read that again. Quote, shall giants be born from under the water, and the inhabitants thereof? Example. So as you can see, Job had to have a perception that giants are born and are the inhabitants under the water. May I deduce? Deduce, mind you. Under the water may be another way of saying, let's say, the deep. It was just a question. I didn't mean nothing by it. That leads me to my second question. When you read the Ten Commandments, yes, the Ten Commandments, well, for this video, Exodus 23 through 6 in the Septuagint, what do you perceive? Who, me? Well, I don't want to give you my perception unless you allow me the opportunity to build a mini-me case to explain why I have come to my perception. Deal? I can't hear you because this is a video. But if you say deal, I perceive a couple of things. The first perception is something none of you will want to hear or want to believe. especially the chicks. The second thing I perceive is our ancestors had full knowledge and was well aware of everything we have discovered thus far in this series, including knowing human people and giants are living in Middle Earth and under the water of the earth. Let's begin, shall we? Exodus 20, 3 through 6 in the Septuagint. Here comes a part you all will hate. Quote, "Thou shalt not make to thyself an idol, comma, nor likeness of anything, comma." Stop. I think we all know the correct usage of a comma. You know, separating items on a list, etc. But I would like to share what Google and myself believe the word anything means. Quote, "Used to refer to a thing, no matter what, used to indicate a range." And that can only mean anything means, well, anything, no matter what. What? No, brother. This means more than having something that cannot be taken as an idol. The comma after the word anything sums that up perfectly. If it had a semicolon, you'd probably be in business, but it has a comma. Would this be? Could this be the reason why there are no images of King David, all the rest of our great and wonderful patriarchs, or even a bust of Roman-blooded Herod around? Would this be? Could this be why it was so easy for my God to take away our heritage so that anyone could counterfeit us and be us, except us? If a picture is worth 1,000 words, no visual record in a visual record world is scripture. But that was only the tricky part of the commandments. Check out the big Fig Newton. Let's continue, please. Quote, "Thou shalt not make to thyself an idol, comma, nor a likeness of anything, comma, whatever things are in the heaven above, and whatever are in the earth beneath, and whatever are in the waters under the earth. Thou shalt not bow to them, nor serve them, semicolon, for I am the Lord thy God, a jealous God." Example, bingo! Remember, our ancestors had to have a perception of what things are in the heavens, the host of heaven, in the earth beneath, the antediluvian people, including the Rephaites, and soon to be Levi priests, etc., and the things that are in the waters under the earth, the Nephilim. They had to know what they looked like to begin with, or at the very least, knew these things existed for my God to warn them not to do it in the first place. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, our ancestors had full knowledge of what they were dealing with and where they came from. But I know, I'm color. And you want more proof, huh? Okay, in the first video or two, we will deal with the netherworld and the water world proof. And after that, my God's will, of course, we will round this information into proving our humanity takeover theories. What? Yes, that is exactly what I said. There are Levi priests living in the netherworld as well right now. What? What do you mean, madness? No, I don't speak blasphemies. And stop tearing up your clothes. Brother, put that rock down. Let me show you. Turn to Numbers 16, 28 through 35 in your Septuagint, please. Brother, you got to put the rock down to pick up your Septuagint. Okay, perceptual context. We all know the story of Korah, right? Where 250 plus him, which means 251 men of Israel, chiefs of the assembly, chosen counselors, and men of renown, including Korah, son of the Levi, and others acting like colors. You know how they do. They rose up against Uncle Moses, basically saying, "You are not the boss of me. You nor Aaron. We want to be important too." After they could not be persuaded not to do this dastardly deed, Uncle Moses threw down on them pre-Elijah style. Yep, a good old-fashioned Israelite showdown. 251 against 2. Just the way a true believer like it. Uncle Moses told him, and I'm paraphrasing, "All right, young bucks, I tell you what, since you coming for my crown, I will deal with you. I hear what your boys are saying about Aaron too. Since it's like that, you and all your boys come with your senses in hand tomorrow, and we gonna see what's what." Let's pick it up there, shall we? Verse 18, quote, "And each man took his censer, and they put on them fire, and laid incense on them. And Moses and Aaron stood by the door of the tabernacle of witness, and Korah raised up against him all his company by the door of the tabernacle of witness. And the glory of the Lord appeared to all the congregation." Stop. As you can see, this is more than the Jets against the Sharks. And my God personally came for a ringside seat. Let's continue.